silence, where stars whisper secrets untold. A rift tears through the astral veil, and sanity reigns, its grip unfolds. Cultists chanting shadowed halls, their voices a hymn to chaos unbound. They conjure up forbidden falls, to summon the fallen, lost and unfound. Unfound. Oh, astral winds carry up across realms and dimensions unknown. For the void-born dread, the fabric unraveled shall wield power that chills every bone. Across fractured plains, reality trembles, mountains weep, rivers twist in desperate prayer. The sun blinks, uncertain of its emblem, as eldritch horrors crawl from the lair. Their forms twisted and malefic, born of nightmares and forgotten dread. They drift through astral currents, a beacon for those who seek madness instead. Oh, astral winds carry up free across realms and dimensions unknown. For the void-born dread, the fabric unraveled shall wield power that chills every bone. Every bone. In forgotten temples and cursed groves, heroes gather, there is all unyielding, to chase the ripples of reality's coves and confront the abyss, both fearsome and appealing. Oh, astral winds carry up free across realms and dimensions unknown. For the void-born dread, the fabric unraveled shall wield power that chills every bone. As the final verse echoes the starlit skies and death trembles on the lips of all, the abyssal maw opens galaxies within, ready to consume all those who stall. Yet whispers of valor and unity persist in the eminent astral reckoning. Perhaps hope shall win.
Welcome on in, everybody, to session number 39 of Echoes of the Fallen Ascendant. We are going to dive right in because we left on a cliffhanger last week. I was actually asked by almost everybody, let's just go another hour, but we respect the time. So, we are picking up at a very tense moment where, well, you'll see in just a few minutes. Anyways, let me dive over to the group, and we will see everybody hanging out, who, if you are hanging out, at the end.
I'll keep you.
All right, hello.
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 All right, so let's go ahead and dive in real quickly to our Session 38 recap. So, Session 38, Ianari the 14th, 4254 PFH at 4 p.m. is where we started. Canis and Lyra had a brief conversation about what happened while he was gone, on both sides of the sigil. Afterwards, it was to bed with everyone. Over the next couple of days, Amelia introduced Alara to Asha. Canis spoke with Alara and Amelia about Celestian law, and Amelia received a rather troubling message from the heavens. The group finally landed in Willow Hollow on the morning of the 16th of Ianari. Amelia took Alara to the Temple of Celestian, where she reunited with what seemed to be her long-lost friend, High Priestess Rosebloom. The two of them hit it off very well, and over the course of their conversation, Amelia was empowered with the fact that she held minor religious authority within the church, and could perform her own investigation in Holdenglen if she wanted, under strict guidelines, of course. Alternatively, at any point, she could request an Inquisitor be hailed from Mount Celestia, though the process would take approximately 5 weeks and cost 200 gold. Meanwhile, the rest of the group headed to Lyra's family's estate, where they found everything closed up. Rather unusual for Pop Pop. The group then entered the estate and found Finnick in a state of mania, borderline hysteria. He was barely holding himself together as he prepared sugared carrots and biscuits. What? Did I cut out? Can you guys not hear me?
You froze on us for a moment, yeah.
That's not good. It's not a good sign.
No.
Got it. Okay. I don't know what you guys didn't hear, so I'll just read the last little blurb. Meanwhile, the rest of the group headed to Lyra's family's estate, where they found everything closed up, which was rather unusual for Pop Pop. The group entered the estate and found Finnick in a state of mania. He was barely holding himself together as he prepared sugared carrots and biscuits. During the conversation, where he was asked flatly if he was okay, he pulled Lyra aside and told her that the family estate was in trouble, and that he may be in big trouble with Mom. Being that the first of the year had just come around, the Bank of Port Colgar, where the family finances the estate, had just called up the taxes and interest payments. He received the message 2 days ago and is expected to make a payment on the 31st of the month. He requested 750 of the 1,500 gold that Lyra spent from the ledger to help cover it. Lyra went into a state of panic and almost quit the group to work for chump change around Willow Hollow, but thankfully, the folks with a lot of sense talked her out of it. Eventually, the group met back on the ship, talked for a little bit, and decided that they had to continue to move, and they had to move fast. So off to Holden Glen they went. During the trip, Canis approached Lyra about the vision that he, and experience that he had, and the meaning of the poem or riddle that they had been receiving through the water, and the hope that they would find something of use, like answers, in Holden Glen. The group finally arrived in Holden Glen on the morning of the 17th of Ianari at roughly 10:30 a.m. Amelia doffed her armor and left her longsword and shield on the ship, and entered the city with nothing but the faith she wore around her neck. And her commoner's clothes. I made her put those back on, because she definitely was not wearing them for a whole week.
You know, Paladins of the Sky going sky-clad.
I mean, what a better way to shake the fucking church up than walking in wearing nothing but the holy symbol. I was like, damn, that is... Okay. The rest of the group suited up and entered town at 11 a.m. to sights most of them had never seen before. Pure peace and tranquility, and a hell of a lot of fairy folk. Alright. RP for... XP for last week. So, RP, 625 for that, and skill checks, we only had a couple of those coming in at 50. So, we had a total of 675 XP each for last week. Alright. And then this week we're picking up session 39 on Ianari the 17th, 4254 PFH at 11 a.m. And that is accounting for your disrobing on the ship and your walk to town. Alright, so you guys have entered town from the western edge. You've just crossed this little bridge over here. The little yellow circle will represent you while you are here. Amelia, per your request, I have added your family estate here, which you can click on and take a little peeky poo at the picture if you want to.
I love that so much.
Who's that dog?
Don't do that.
Oh, we're taking this dog with us.
Don't see, it's a rule. I told you.
It's worse. The dog has a backstory too.
No.
Oh, it is so good at
dead.
that. Oh, what have you
Fucking,
done?
this is, Cat, I swear to God, she gives me one thing and we turn it into a whole fucking,
Why do you hate that dog?
arc.
Why do you
The
hate
dog's
that?
redemption arc.
Reds.
We're near a river. It's going to be like a dire alligator is my prediction. Sorry, Cat.
I really like the idea of a dire alligator. I've never used one of
Yeah,
those.
Don't
So-
do that. Don't do that.
So we're moving.
Oh, I don't.
We've learned over the years. Okay, so as we're walking into town, Lyra would just so you know, Lucy's having trouble with Roll20, but he's trying.
Uh-oh.
Lyra would stop Amelia and Amelia, Actually, is it possible that you could maybe take a knee? It will be more meaningful that way.
All right. And she'll make sure that she's lowered to Lyra's level.
You guys see a little pixie kind of zip by and stop and glance down, and then
Hi. Okay. Before we start anything, I know that a lot has happened in the last few days, and I think it's very important that you go into this as neutrally as possible. Okay? Don't think about what we think we know, what you need to know. Just ask questions. And if the answers don't make sense, ask more questions. Okay? Listen and try to remember as best as you can. You are not here to prove that your dad's innocent. You are not here to prove that he's guilty. You are here for the truth. So once we learn more, we can figure out what that is and follow it. But I think it's very important that you walk into the temple neutrally. Don't pass judgment. Just go in.
I'm gonna try.
Okay. And would it help if I give you some parchment and a quill? Would that help you, do you think? Or will you remember? Everybody learns differently, so.
Well, we don't know what we're going to be walking into yet. I'm gonna try and remember it.
Okay, but just ask questions. As far as I can tell, you're allowed to do that. And if you get an answer that doesn't make sense, ask about it.
She nods. And you all, you wanted to go to the Temple of Temetnu, right?
Yeah, we need to do that.
I can show you where that is, or where, well, I can show you around depending on what you all think.
I think
How
it
long
would be
till-
neat. Oh, go ahead, Dench.
No, sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
I was just going to say that I would be very interested in looking around, and then it seems like a small town, so I kind of have this thought, like, are we gonna cause kind of a ruckus being new people, heavily equipped, marching around town? Should we swing into the Peacekeepers Guild and say, hi? We're hanging around town for a couple days?
And that's actually a good follow-up to my question. How long do we need to be here before judgment needs to be passed?
I know we need to get going soon. Yeah, we can see if Silas is in the hall. She gestures towards the peacemakers. But
I understand. I don't want to be disrespectful, but maybe we should do whatever is absolutely necessary and nothing else. I don't know how long your business is going to take. I don't know how long we'll have to be at the Temple of Temetnu, and I realize that we got to visit my family, and I apologize, but we need to keep moving without extra stops.
What would be typical for DM question? What would be typical for outsiders, who would be heavily equipped, like we are? Any problems
no.
with carrying gear?
No, actually, you're probably the odd one out. I mean, people are carrying, no one is walking around like super heavily armed or armored or anything, But Amelia, you're well aware that, I mean, the city doesn't even have fucking walls, right? When trouble finds itself in this city, the land itself rises up and fucking swallows the troublemakers. The same thing happened in a very particular point in your backstory, and yes, there were some bad things that did come of that situation, but I mean, literally, like, furbolgs and pixies in droves, shape-shifting and just absolutely defending tooth and nail. Nobody steps out of line. And that's kind of the the Peacekeepers Guild, you would know, they're not really like a guild for within the city. They are a worldwide, a plane-wide organization, and their thing isn't just to keep peace in this one little village, it's to keep peace everywhere. So they don't really hold like an authoritative position. This happens to just be where one of the guild halls is. But you do know, yes, I mean, obviously, they're all about peace and tranquility.
Yeah, we can see if Silas is in the hall, but you probably don't need to.
I don't.
But that's fine with me then. I was just, I'm from a small town, and if you guys walked into my small town, it would be interesting. So I just wanted to, bring that up.
And I'm not looking
But,
to
yeah,
ruin
we don't have to go
anybody's
down.
fun or sightseeing. I
Well,
just
Yeah, we do have deadlines. Yeah.
Actually, I thought that you, Lyra, might really like. It's Abacar's. It's up in the northern part of town. There's a lot of your kind of magic and alchemy and all sorts of things like that. I think it might be worth stopping by before we go, if we do have time. This won't be the only time our paths bring us back here, looking and learning and seeing things.
Oh, and maybe we could sell that that scroll from the rats and didn't we have a mind reading potion?
I
Still?
think that we'll probably have to try to do that in Port Mira, assuming small towns don't spend big gold. I look
Wow.
toward Amelia.
It depends. Having one of the guild halls here and a couple of the temples, and with the trade it depends sometimes.
Wouldn't
I-
hurt to ask anyway, but I understand Lyra too. We're in a hurry, but also if it's right here, then why not?
If you're going to the temple of Temetnu, you might not want to be in too much of a hurry.
Why?
Well, brother Kirpa's there. He's kind of
He's a bit slow.
yes.
Mentally or physically?
Well, his title is, let's see if I can remember this. Slow Current? Brother Kirpa of the Slow Current.
His title
So
literally
bug.
has the word slow in it.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
It's great news.
boy.
This is perfect news. And
It's more of the things come in their right time. You can't rush everything.
Well, I mean, I also assume that whatever you have to deal with is going to take some time as well. I can't imagine it's going to be in and out anyway.
I don't
depends
know.
on how long we stand here.
No, there's that too.
Right. I was getting bored anyway. So where are we
Not
going
surprising.
first?
I can show you where the Temple of Temetnu is.
That would be great.
I would appreciate it, yes.
It's pretty much right across. It's kind of on the other side of town, by the other bridge, a little bit north of the inn, and she'll lead them towards the temple, and she'll kind of point out where things are as they go.
Okay.
And she'll, our place is up there, past the House of Stars, past the mill, and continue.
Okay. So you will go into the Temple of Celestian.
I'm going to, if it's all right, I was thinking of at least checking by home first. I don't want to go in without seeing if there's anything at the house first.
That's totally your call. I was just thinking about what Ilara had said about, I don't remember what verbiage she used, but she was supposed to be somewhere, and then I said we could take her back to here, and she said that if she didn't go to Willow Hollow, she'd be in trouble. So I'm trying to make sure you don't start off on the wrong foot here.
No, that was, she had been reassigned formally. We still have, as I check the date.
Well, it said by that date. I think showing
Yeah.
up earlier might put you in better, good graces.
I think and hope that you're right, but I don't know if he's not at home.
Okay, well, she just kind of looks around.
Yeah. So let's,
Well-
you know what? How about I accompany you up to your house? The other two hang out in the Temple of Temetnu.
Well, if that guy's not going to be ready,
I'm not going to go anywhere or start anything or do anything like I did before.
So let's stick together. Do we want to go to the Temple of Temetnu first or Amelia's home?
We're here.
Oh, jeebers. We got there quick.
It's not a particularly large town.
okay. Okay.
Oh, it's a tent.
There's not a lot of buildings here. The land provides most of what's needed, and there's not a lot of stonework or things like that.
Okay. All right.
Right, so I don't really know why we're here. Lyra?
Well, it's more for me. I want to learn more of Temetnu since I'm pretty certain I'm linked. Though my question is how more than anything, but also might as well do what Lyra likes to do and find out more.
After you two, then.
He flinches a little bit when you say that, Canis. Okay. Yep, let's... She's gonna stop and look up, and then takes a deep breath and rolls her shoulders back.
Okay. So you guys approach the exterior of what, essentially, even though it's called the Temple of Temetnu, is a canvas and linen walled large top or high top tent. The curtains are pulled back, giving you a double doorway right here. There's a small fountain outside. As you walk past the fountain, Payne, you kind of glance in and you notice that rising up and out of the fountain are small animals created out of the water. And as you look close, they appear to be hippos. And they kind of sporadically come up. It's not like a carousel where they pop up. It seems almost entirely animated on its own accord. You enter, And to the left in the temple, there is just two large wicker chairs, very large, and reinforced on the bottom with some sort of metallic, like, twine. There is a row of tent poles on either side, a small table, which looks like tea bowls have been set out in front of, and then there's, again, another pool over here, which goes a little bit deeper, a small stone altar, and then a gentleman from the back. As he's got his back turned towards you, all you can really see is that he has this absolutely massive shell on his back, and on the shell is painted this relief in blue, gold, and silver of different iconography of, like, hippos coming up and out of rivers and staring up at the sky. He's got kind of a greenish tint to his flesh. You guys would recognize him, especially from the back, as a turtle. He stands about 5'10". Easily, this guy is almost 500 pounds, especially with the shell. So yeah, he's a very heavy-shelled river turtle, dark olive skin. As he turns around, you notice he's got amber eyes, slightly clouded, more than likely by age. And then he has the painstakingly painted, probably over decades, symbols and iconography of Temetnu across the shell. Flowing rivers, reed boats, moonlit currents, stylized hippopotamus figures are pretty much everywhere. He's got a long staff in one hand with a small globe that swirls almost like ice. And then at his side, you can see very clearly that he's also got a sickle. So, give you guys a little glimpse at him.
Oh my god, I love him.
He looks so cool.
So he kind of turns around, feeling a presence. You notice he begins to turn around, and as he turns around, the turn takes a good pregnant 45 seconds. It is almost unbearably slow. But by the time he gets around, his neck kind of extends up and out of his shell and looks forward through clouded amber eyes. Well, what do we have here? Oh, my. We've got ourselves a gnome, a jackal, a dwarf, Amelia! Good to see you, Amelia. Good to see you. He begins to move forward.
Payne is going to be just quiet, respectfully quiet, but highly amused and also very intrigued because it is his first turtle probably ever. So he's going to be respectfully quiet, but very, like, oh my god, Xavier.
Very much same with Dench, just eyebrows up to the hairline again, like, what?
Lyra's just got her hands balled into fists and she's smiling politely.
Love it.
I don't think Cadus knows what to think of this situation. He was not expecting this.
Amelia knew what to expect. Absolutely, Cat for sure knew this. She's just smiling and just. It's good to be back. I have some friends who would like to ask you some questions. And she pauses, kind of smiles a little wryly to the others, and then, if you have the time.
Amelia. He's finally made it about 10 feet. I have all the time in the world. All of it.
And it seems like you use all of it. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Hello! My goodness! He's made it another 5 feet. You speak. That. Wait a minute. You see his whole body shrinks down as he sucks his legs into his shell. And he gets down to about Lyra height. And he kind of does like a couple 3 or 4 like waddles forward. And then his head and neck extend out. You're one of the chosen, aren't you?
Oh, what, him too?
He looks up at you, his head kind of cranes like an alligator turtle.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Are you also
Oh,
a chosen?
No, sir. No, absolutely not, sir. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry, I need a second. I love this guy.
You are chosen, a reincarnation of Familia!
Wait, did you say reincarnation of Amelia?
No, I said a reincarnation. A Familia!
Yeah, okay, sorry, sir. Yeah, okay.
So being chosen as being reincarnated as a familiar? I came to find out more of Temetnu because I personally don't know a lot, but seem to keep running into ties with her.
How so?
Well, I'm pretty sure that I've spoken to her twice, at least, inside Lyra's tattoo. And he'll point to like Lyra's head. This is my contracted wizard.
There's a few
Oh,
extra blinks when he says that.
I was right. You are a familiar. Yes, yes. That explains all the talking.
Oh, it does.
Right. Anyways,
So, he just cuts you the fuck off. You're interested in the theology of our dear river goddess? Or you're studying to be a priest? Or you think you are a reincarnation of one of her champions?
but that's what I want to find out.
The last seems the most likely. And she'll, Lyra will take out her book, and Canis, you'd recognize the page she opens it to. It's the one with the poem for whenever you're ready.
Yeah, like I said, he was kind of, as Lyra pulls out the poem, he'll kind of nod his head towards it and be like, yes, me and her have received these poems in water sources. A couple times.
Oh! A great place to gather knowledge of Temetnu is still fresh water. Come join me at the reflecting pool. And he turns away from you, his legs kind of rise back up out of his shell, and he very slowly, but for the sake of brevity, eventually moves here, and he sits down on the floor, crisscrosses his legs, lays the sickle down at one side, and he lays the staff down next to him. And he reaches down with one of his fingers, and he touches the water. And as he does so, you guys see it kind of like, there's like this ripple that grows across it, unnaturally for what the finger should have produced. And the kind of like semi-translucent water goes completely opaque, and then almost silver, like a mirror. Show me. Show me what you've seen.
So do I just touch it or look at it?
Show me what you've seen.
Just think about it, Canis.
Okay, in that case, Canis will think of the poem pieces in probably the order they were received, not the, I guess, correct order.
Got it. Okay, so you go through the pieces of the poem. Whoops. Give me one sec. So you see as each bit of the poem kind of is thought of by you, it kind of ripples across the water like you guys had seen it initially. It kind of appears on this mirror-like surface, and anybody looking at it can see it, as opposed to just Lyra and Canis. And he kind of reads it over and over. Oh, I see. Interesting. Do you know any of what this might mean?
As far as I can tell, or that we've surmised, is we need to hunt down certain beasts or creatures across the plains and take them to the great river, and then I'll transform somehow or ascend. I think there's a bit more if the river will let me show it, or the water will let me show it.
Yes.
And he will try and show his experiences that he received in Lyra's tattoo, his last visit.
Okay, what exactly are you showing? Like what? Because you can kind of dictate what appears, so you just kind of give us the piece by piece as to what shows up, so I don't just take it away from you.
Right, let me pull it up fully. I think for him it'll be mostly everything, but more parts. So it's him on the river, what he sees. It's all from like his perspective. So it's, and then there's different visions of different animals, a wolf standing on the cliff, everything he sent me, and then the white jackal that walks by. Probably not the words they say, because I don't think he knows how to replicate it, is the word I'm looking for. The feeling of being spoken to without words or mental.
Okay.
And then as well, especially the last thing he'll show is the image of a jackal beheaded figure with spirits and guides and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he kind of goes through this vision, for lack of a better term, but it's just a bunch of iconography and images that appear. You see him kind of like walking down this river, kind of solid river that he's on top of it. There's other like almost like spirit versions of animals walking past him, like literally past him, going. And that's the other thing too. The river is running upstream, not downstream, which is very, very strange. He finally encounters this spiritual jackal, looks a lot like him. You don't really hear what it says, but you can tell they're having some sort of communion. And then it kind of like the vision flashes forward, and it is him looking at like this large kind of almost picturesque scene, like everything's like half frozen as these creatures, these animals are walking upriver. There is like a gate of sorts, and into the gate they go, and standing there is essentially like the equivalent of what would be like an avatar of Temetnu, this kind of hippo humanoid creature, and next to it is a creature that appears to be a jackal humanoid of some sort, kind of armed and watching. And then you guys see the imagery kind of fades from the mirror, and the pool takes on its kind of opaque cloudiness, normal water. And Brother Kerpo looks at you. Oh, interesting. Interesting indeed. I think you are linked much closer to Temetnu than you realize. If what I am seeing in your vision and what you've read me from the pools is true. There, in many of the orders of theology that have to do with the natural world, Obid Hai, Temetnu, Procon, even Umbrally, there is a process, a transformative process that some of their spirits, those that belong to them, who go through cycles of reincarnation over and over and over, proving themselves in each iteration. It is said that sometimes, speaking strictly for Temetnu, of course, the river goddess, that eventually, after these many reincarnation cycles, they are offered an opportunity to transcend this. And he kind of just points at your form. I think that these visions and apparitions could be evidence that you are being given that opportunity. It's possible that you've had many reincarnation cycles. Sometimes they say that this process is linked to prophetic value, but I've no knowledge of any freestanding prophecy currently in the realm of my theological expertise. What I can tell you is that I am aware that not only is this a journey for the individual, and he reaches over and kind of pats you on the head, but you will need assistance. He kind of looks at Lyra. There is a calling, a second calling, for a powerful ritualist to perform what is called the ritual of transcendence. I'm not entirely familiar with it because, quite frankly, in my many years, nobody's asked. But I am aware, as it is written into our historical texts. I'd suggest you maybe begin at any large library.
Lyra takes a sharp breath when he says that.
We know of one large library, right? I mean, Willow Hollow.
Yep.
Now, tell me, you've read to me all of the pieces of what you've seen in the reflecting waters of Temetnu. Do you understand all of it?
Not. I think I understand most of it. But there is something I don't understand, which I think you clarified mostly. This reincarnation cycle.
Yes.
I was wondering, because during that vision I got a feeling of familiarity, like these are my memories or something I'm returning to.
Yes.
So that was probably the biggest question I had of that, as well as, I guess, what the Infinite River was, because I've only been able to see it once via this vision here.
The
I'm supposed to bring
Infinite
these two.
River. Yes. Yes. That will require more research. And with your research into the ritual of transcendence, I believe that will be answered. Yes.
I see.
You see, he kind of thinks a moment, and then he looks at you. Is there any other information regarding anything regarding this matter that I can help you with?
I'd like, if possible, maybe a book of some kind to save time, but I don't know a lot of Temetnu in general. I know she's a river goddess. I know she has the head of a hippo and the body of a shapely woman, quote unquote.
Oh! 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 Oh, she is shapely indeed.
Yes, but anyway, that's about all I know of her. You got me there. So I don't know
Look, how
doctrines or
many cities we
teachings or
talking
anything.
Well, and he glances around at the room, which anybody who's in here has noticed there is not a single book or piece of paper or scroll anywhere. He says, I unfortunately don't have those resources available for anyone, including myself, as in my early years of study, I committed everything up here. However, he kind of looks past Lyra, like in between Lyra and Kana's. Amelia.
She looks over.
I assume you are here for purpose. We've been notified of your expectation of judgment.
I'm, yes, going to find out what's going on, at least.
Good. Good girl. Hold your religious values close. He looks back to you guys. That process may take a little while if you're her friends and you're going to be around town. Perhaps you can stay with me for just a little while. It won't take too much time, I assure you.
Oh, well, we wouldn't want to impose. Appreciate the offer.
If you have the information, I can write down for you.
I love the company. In the past few years, many people have taken to the teachings of the Starfather, and unfortunately, the rivers run quiet. I'd love to tell you all I know of our shapely goddess.
I mean, it depends on how long we need to be here, but I do appreciate the offer. I don't see why not. Anybody have
Lyra-
any objections?
Yeah, Lyra would look toward Canis.
Canis is looking towards Lyra because he knows Lyra needs He doesn't know the specifics, but he knows Lyra is in a hurry.
We are gonna have to be here no matter what, but Amelia, maybe go handle your business sooner than later.
I'll go directly to the House of the Stars then.
Remember what I told you.
Where would you like me to meet you?
I have a feeling you'll have to come let us know when you're done.
Let me run this past you quick. Lyra, you think it was Amelia's first thought to head to her house first. So I kind of think that's still a good idea. Do you?
I really don't. I'm very concerned that the longer we wait on this, the worse things are going to get for her and or for her father.
Yeah, but if you're here listening to a story, I bet we could get to the house and to the temple also before the story ends.
And Amelia just she takes a second, she does her usual fidget with their holy symbol. Lyra's probably right on this one. I think trying to go by the house is probably delaying what needs to actually be handled.
Is there something in particular, Amelia, that you're concerned of home? Your dog is in great hands, I assure you. I tend to the rivers on both sides of town, and as of yesterday, the estate still stands.
Actually, I haven't been given much information at all. Do you know where my father is, or
Yes.
his crime?
I am unfortunately not privy to such matters regarding those devout to the Starfather. However, he was indeed arrested and has been taken and imprisoned within the church.
So there's nobody at the house to visit anyway, is what you're saying?
I can't say if squatters have taken up residence. Honestly, his pumpkin harvest this year was magnificent. So the pixies are probably still picking through the fields. But doubtful that anybody would hostily take over the estate.
Then to the church then. I can meet you all here when I'm done, or when it's time to go and get dinner. She says the last 12, very much looking to pain.
Well-
It's. I hope it doesn't take that long.
How about I go with Amelia? As much as I want to hear about Temetnu, I know a fair amount from my studies, and I might learn more about Celestian going to with her.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
Dench, you should probably go with them.
I-
More for the fact that they need someone responsible.
Ha!
That's also a very good point.
We talked about this before. I do have a feeling that it's going to be limited on who's allowed to actually be a part of this.
Well, I can ask, and if needed, we'll all meet here. Or whoever can't be there.
If
Whatever
I'm
you
not
guys
allowed in the temple, I'll come back here, I guess, and meet up with you guys.
Yeah, it'd probably be best if. Yeah, we'll see what we can do and then reconvene here.
Wonderful. Best of luck to you all, and especially to you, Amelia. May the shapely river goddess guide your footfall like a flowing stream. So, and he looks down at Kana's, in the beginning, there was but a single drop upon the land.
Lyra takes out
get
her
going.
book.
Get the fuck out!
When he says in the beginning, Lyra breathes out a very long breath and takes out her book and starts writing. And there's a split second where her eyes are screaming as she locks eyes with Dench, and then she starts writing.
On the way
should prob-
out. Oh, go ahead, Dench.
I said
you read
Den
it.
should probably. Yeah, sorry. Den should probably just like put a hand on Lyra's shoulder for a moment, squeeze it, and
Payne's comment on the way out the door to Amelia would be something like, it seems the races talk faster the smaller they get.
Have you ever met a pixie?
Just that one that flittered by.
what do they talk slow?
And she just
Probably not.
smiles.
Alright. So, you guys, so the three of you then are heading towards the Church of Celestian. Canis, I will happily provide you with some more information, and Lyra, it will be slow, and it will be fucking arduous, but it is a journey that you have already undertaken, and currently cannot escape without being rude. We're about to get rude in this bitch.
Honestly, the second he starts talking, Canis probably like sighs quietly, but like Lyra knows it as the oh boy, this is gonna take a while, and then sits.
Lyra's never gonna slow talk anybody ever again. This is her. This is payback for all those.
Oh,
times.
this is generations worth
Oh my
of
God, is this what I was doing?
With interest.
That's not so.
If possible, yeah, I would like information, but it doesn't have to happen this session.
I got you. Trust me, I got plenty of info on this biatch. Alright.
Cleric multi-class question mark? No.
Let's work on figuring out
Paladin.
your fucking finger situation first, because you couldn't even cast spells if you wanted to right now.
So true.
Nothing that was innate. Not innate. I should
Canis
say.
is gonna multi-class warlock to worship that ass.
Ah! Get the fuck out of here!
Smite.
Oh god, he gets Thunderwave twice a day, and okay. Well, I think I'm sorry. I don't know. Kevin did it.
You did it. You said she was shapely.
That's true. She is shapely. She is shapely.
Yeah.
I can't deny her shape. All right. So, you guys arrive. It really. So the town is not very big. You guys. I mean, there are a lot of people walking around, but like, if we were to like compare this to, let's say, Willow Hollow, it is way less people. Like, this is a town size, not some sort of crazy metropolis. So, you guys arrive at the outskirts of the Temple of Celestian, and you can kind of smell there's like some incense wafting from the open windows. There's not a whole lot going on, no people coming in or out, but it is a grand looking building. It's built of stone. There's heraldry out front of teal and white that are of, you know, stars and crescent moons specifically. The doors are absolutely gorgeous, emblazoned oak. Looks like they're pretty well used. You can tell the brass doorknobs are very well worn. So
Just having come from the temple tent and now walking up to a stone building, I think that would catch Payne's attention enough to consider why everything else was kind of tenty and why this is stone. So I'd like to take a closer look at the
Okay.
why this would be.
sure,
This
give me
way.
give me a religion check. I mean, it's not a roll that's going to give you anything like super good, but it's not also a roll that's going to harm you. But it's you know it's pretty standard for religions that base themselves wholly like within nature to take to more simplistic styles of worship, including cloth, linen, fabrics, spools of metal instead of like large bricks or large chiseled stones. The other thing is money. A lot more people worship Celestian than they do whoever the fuck Temetnu is. And this is just a satellite church. This church, that Temetnu church was also a satellite church, but they're also coming from like where the main church could support X amount of money, right? Like, this church is supported probably by the one in Willow Hollow, mostly, and they have fuckloads of followers, so they can afford the stone, the oak, the high ceilings, the cathedral feel. Whereas Brother Kerper of the Slow Current has been working there by himself for the last 55 years, and is lucky if somebody comes in to pray with him down by the river a couple times a week.
Fair enough.
All right, so here you find yourselves.
All right, Amelia, this is your show. Either way.
Thank you for being here, both of you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
To be clear, we're here to make sure you don't burn this place to the ground.
Now, come on, Dench.
That's why I'm here, at least.
I'm more likely to do that.
If it helps, I left my flints back on the ship.
I brought mine.
I'm more nervous than I think I realized. And she's going to just holy symbol, quiet prayer. That's just a Celestian, like, guide my steps kind of thing. Let me walk true. And then she's going to
Just don't
go in.
forget what Amelia said.
What Lyra said.
Sorry, what Lyra said. The other one.
Okay, I did a
I'm
mental
telling
find and
on you.
replace.
To be fair, I think that's the first time I did that. Don't forget what Lyra said. Don't understand something, ask questions.
All right, so little descriptive here because this is big picture stuff. So bear with me. So Amelia, the Grand Sanctuary. The heavy oak doors groan open, revealing a sanctuary of solemn beauty. Cold gray stone stretches nearly 50 feet from the entrance to the altar, each block painstakingly fitted together generations ago. Though immaculate, the stone bears the faint polish of countless boots and knees, evidence of centuries of worship rather than wealth. Two perfectly aligned rows of wooden pews divide the chamber into 3 separate aisles. None are ornamented. Their surfaces have been worn smooth by thousands of hands, their corners rounded by time rather than neglect. They speak of humble devotion instead of opulence. The walls are lined with white stone memorial markers, each carved with a simple crescent moon and an engraved name. No status of kings, no grand heroes, only the faithful, hundreds of them. Light pours through narrow windows high above, casting long beams across the sanctuary floor. Dust drifts lazily within the shafts of sunlight, giving the impression that even the air moves slower inside these sacred walls. At the far eastern end stands a modest marble altar draped in white and teal, the sacred colors of Celestian. Behind it stands Brother Mail. Give me 1 second.
That motherfucker.
Oh, I hate him already. I hate him.
Oh, I thought Brother Mail was the angelic dude. I can't remember that guy's name.
Thinking Morlin, Everwatcher.
Oh, Morlin the Everwatcher? No.
that's
That's the
the-
Paladin guy. Yeah, no, this is not him by a long shot. Okay, so behind it stands Brother Mail, where the sermons are delivered and judgment is pronounced. Near the southeastern corner rests an enormous circular... Sorry, I had to ping it. Rests an enormous circular sigil inlaid directly into the stone floor with polished brass and silver. Intricate celestial geometry radiates outwards from the central star. The workmanship is extraordinary, clearly far older than the rest of the temple. The stone surrounding it has been worn smooth by generations of ritual use. Along the outer walls stand small alcoves where acolytes quietly attend candles, maintain records of the dead, or observe visitors with polite but unmistakably watchful eyes. Nothing here feels accidental. Everything has a purpose. So Amelia, as you guys open the doors and enter, there's kind of a glance from side to side, and you see the two acolytes at the door. Their eyes kind of go wide as you come in. There is not a full sermon. This is like a late morning kind of prayer request sermon, but nobody seems to be... Everyone who is out currently in the pews seem to be doing their own thing. They've got prayer books open. Some of them have holy symbols. Some of them have tithes in small baskets, and they're just kind of here doing their own thing. At the front, though, you do notice that there is dirty old fat bastard Brother Mail. Yeah, that's kind of that. He is in the process of blessing what appears to be a small basket. He kind of finishes his blessing. He looks up and out. You hear he kind of calls out to the congregation, "And so the Star Father provides. And so he provides." And you hear the congregation respond, "And so he provides." Amelia, there is a quick thing here. Okay. So as you enter, you kind of like glance around. This is a very kind of borderline passive thing. So for everybody as you enter, so the sanctuary is kept unnaturally clean as you glance around. There are very few personal decorations. Brother Mail's position gives him sightlines over the entire room, including the doors. The acolytes seem almost military in how they move and look at you. The ritual circle is very clearly often used. Amelia, as you enter, the iconography here... Oh, this is a passive perception check, by the way. The iconography here is technically correct, but it feels incomplete somehow. Several of the traditional symbols that are associated with mercy and redemption seem to be absent in here, and justice is instead emphasized everywhere.
Has that changed from what I would remember?
No, that is part of... Those were part of the changes that were happening when you left.
Okay, but that is not how it was pre-mail.
Correct.
Okay. And then all of the acolytes here, they are all ones that came with Brother Mail, or are there people who have been here since before?
You glance around, it's like a 50-50 mix.
Okay.
But they all stand vigilant, and just like when Brother Mail was kind of taking over, they seem very militaristic in how they are operating. Very, they look like sentries instead of acolytes.
Okay. That's lovely. That's absolutely the peaceful image I wanted to see. Okay.
You're welcome.
I think Amelia is going to, as she answers, she kind of looks around and takes it in. There's that moment where she just touches her holy symbol, this time more for strength than anything else, and then if he is still speaking at all, I think she would still go and like take a seat and wait. She's not going to interrupt.
Okay.
Whether, yeah.
Yeah. So he speaks for a few minutes, and you can seat yourself where you want. As you are walking in, though, you do note that during the little bit of speech that he gives out, he kind of pauses momentarily and looks to the back of the room and squints. And you immediately sense the kind of ritualistic the ritualistic way and like the mechanical way in which he is doing what he is supposed to be doing for this bit, which is, again, it's kind of like a prayer request service. He kind of speeds it up, and we'll say for the sake of brevity, it's like another 5 or 6 minutes before he finally concludes it. You guys kind of find yourselves in here, but then and that, my dear people, concludes this mid-morning service. We look forward to seeing you all back at supper time. Go with the Star Lord. Be strong in yourselves. And remember that justice escapes none. Thank you. And he kind of steps back from the altar, and it's about that point that people start to see themselves at. I'm not going to move everyone individually. They're jumping through the walls and blocks.
Fair.
Like somebody just hit the brakes on the world.
So, as they exit, though, and you guys are kind of in here taking things in, the two acolytes then do close the doors. Sorry, I'm going to put Lyra and Kana's over here so you're not just randomly sprawled out throughout the room. And as the last person leaves, the acolytes turn, they close the doors, they don't lock them, but you hear from the front of the room, "Amelia! Dear child! Please, come! Welcome home! Welcome home! You brought friends! This is... Oh, what a reunion! We are so pleased to see you, my dear! How are you?
The roads have been long, but I received your summons and came with as much haste as I could.
Oh, bless you, dear child. Bless you. My apologies. Sentinel. Bless you, Sentinel. Thank you for honoring your summons. I understand that it couldn't be easy, but with the other initiates, very few of them here on the Prime Material, you were the only one that was available to take up this task. I suppose we should probably get to it. But unfortunately, my dear, your friends... He stops and looks and glances down at them. Have they been ordained by the church?
Not by
They-
Celestian. Sorry, Amelia.
Ah. Well,
They walk different paths, but have walked alongside me in service to the stars.
well, as great as that might be, unfortunately, they've no ecclesiastical standing in the Church of the Star-Lord, so we're going to have to ask you to leave so that the initiate can take her rightful place in the Chamber of Judgment.
I'm going to I want to kind of try and pick apart his tone.
Sure. Okay, give me an insight
I know
check.
he tends to hold to the letter of things, but I want to know
Yeah,
all of the things. Insight.
Okay. So one thing and this is just kind of prior to that as you were kind of watching him work, but one thing you notice is that he never turned his back to the congregation longer than was absolutely necessary to do something. And that was like maybe one time in that whole end bit. You also note that whenever somebody entered, including the acolytes kind of in the back that were filtering in and out, and you guys, when someone enters the sanctuary, he immediately notices, like, immediately. And it feels like, it felt to you like it was less like a pastoral awareness and more like a man who is attempting to constantly assess threats. As far as his tone here, yeah, I hate to say it, but he is absolutely 100%, like, you are totally convinced that he's being sincere, although he's utilizing your titles for the first time, and it seems like he's not sure how to do it. He started with Dear Child, which is how he always referenced you, but then you came back with a title, and he fucked up, and you note that he realized he fucked up. So now he's trying to kind of write that, and in the same merit say, yeah, they're not part of the church, they can't stay. Sorry, that's just the way it is. And you would know that that's probably legitimate. Or at least he seems like he's telling the truth.
And then she's going to turn to just look back at them. Kind of just nod a little. As we discussed then.
Remember, ask questions if you don't understand what's being said.
Payne will take a very deep breath in through his nose, smelling for brimstone is what he's thinking, sulfur, and let out a sigh of, okay.
Give me a perception check. I'll give you a scent perception check in the church.
And we left the
That was
jackal
almost a
elsewhere.
1.
Fast roll.
So you do not smell brimstone. However, I am gonna give you this. With that scent perception check. You don't know really shit about Celestian theology as far as the specific practices of their, like, ritual as far as the church is concerned. However, you get a good whiff of the incense that are being burned in here, and you are accustomed to the fact that, especially when you are not just trying to make something smell good, but when you are actually doing a rite of some sort, you really want your scents to stand out. And what you're smelling in here, as far as the incense are concerned, smell like the cheap knockoff, like Temu versions of what should probably be getting used. But you do not smell brimstone.
You said Temu like the cheap website, not Temetnu.
Yeah. Temu, like the cheap knockoff. It smells like the cheap knockoff versions of what, like, a real priest should be utilizing for ritualistic, especially services.
How dare you, Payne?
I needed it to be clear, because now that I know it's not the other god, Payne's definitely going to kind of turn, and this place doesn't smell as good as the one in Willow Hollow anyway. We'll meet up later, Amelia.
Then before he leaves, he just takes a long, lingering look at this guy, at Mael, maybe he catches his eye, maybe he doesn't, but he definitely takes a long, hard look at him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he is disgusting. He is everything you would not want in a person of power in religion, as far as his outward appearance is concerned. He reeks of gluttony and pride and is just... Ugh.
Yeah, Dench doesn't try to hide that look on his face that he gets looking at him. Just kind of disgust and disdain, so he just kind of turns and leaves.
Oh, quick question before I go, Brother Male. Is it a crime to heal people in this town without charging or getting permission from either of your churches? Or not your churches, I misspoke. Either of these churches in town?
Is it a crime in this town to heal somebody without getting permission from the churches?
Yeah.
You cut out. You're muted.
Yeah. Better. My mouse button must be dying on me. Yeah, like I don't want to insult you or Brother Temetnu's priest by doing things improperly in town.
No, it's no crime as far as I'm concerned. You'd maybe need to speak to the local authorities, though. Ecclesiastically, no, it's no crime.
Fair enough. Thank you, sir. And I will head out.
So as you two exit the Acolytes, they open the door for you, and then they kind of close the door behind you. If you guys do want to put yourselves in the room just so you have line of sight, you're welcome to do so. Are you two going back to the, I'll give you a minute if you guys want to just discuss, you're welcome to kind of discuss. Fucking Pain jumps through the window, I saw that!
I tried to quick jump, but because
I
the
know.
door
Oh my god.
shut,
Did that dwarf just dive back through our rear window? That's the third one this month. Yeah.
Stealth roll.
Yeah. If you guys want to just give me a heads up about what you're doing, or if you have any RP before I dive into Amelia's, because Amelia's might be just a little bit long.
I think Dench just exiting the building. He probably wouldn't want to go terribly far. But yeah, he'll turn to Pain. I don't see anything good coming out of this scenario at all.
No, and unfortunately, before we left the ship, I had my brain powered down or something, and I didn't get the spell ready that I was hoping to supply to Amelia, and I was kind of hoping we wouldn't end up in this position today, but here we are. Hopefully things don't settle out the way finalized, I guess, and I can help her tomorrow with that. But
Oh, you
it
were hoping
is-
to give her that
yeah,
that same spell
little-
that her friend,
that
brain
little
bump.
boost, but things
Yeah.
things happened, and I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is.
Well, I guess it's in Amelia's hands and Celestian's for all the good, all that to us.
Well, we've got a little bit of faith in both. It should, hopefully, let's go. I think we're supposed to go back to Lyra.
Well, I think I might hang out around this area for a little while longer, just in case, things start exploding.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't have to convince me.
That
I might
Warhammer-
catch up with you later, but
Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm staying.
you gonna stay
If
here
you're
too?
staying,
Okay.
if you're staying, I'm staying.
All right. Yeah, let's maybe
All
just
right.
hang out for a little bit.
So you guys I'm assuming you guys are lingering within 100 feet or so.
Yeah, if there's a bench nearby or something
Sure.
like that, or yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, and if Lyra asked, this was your idea.
Fair enough.
She likes you anyway.
She'd take it a little bit less angrily if you said it, I suppose.
Yeah, I've been a little pinpricky with her. I think she's tired of me throwing opposing ideas, I think. So,
I wouldn't say that.
yeah, but I would. But anyway.
All right. So as the doors close and they kind of walk off, find a bench, Brother Mail steps a little bit closer to the altar and he kind of puts his hands down, kind of rests his cane that he clearly was using to kind of help steady himself. Well, interesting company you keep. Little social decorum would do them some good, but to each their own, I suppose. Initiate, I know you come here on a leap of faith, I'm sure, and I am sure you have many questions regarding the situation. I assure you, everything's been done 100% by the book, and I am happy to share anything I have with you. Before we begin the process, is there anything I can do for you? Are you hungry, parched, injured in any way? She kind of looks you over. Needing of your weapons or armor? Didn't you leave with your father's armor?
I did, and it's back on the ship.
Back
wanted-
on the ship. You've a ship. Oh, docked at the port. Yes, of course. My apologies.
She does not correct him. I thought that it would be best to come here first and find out.
Of
Saw
course.
no reason to bring armor or blade here.
Fair enough. Instead, you brought 2 bodyguards who were armed to the teeth.
I don't suppose you've ever tried talking a dwarven priest of Morden into putting down their hammer.
Many years ago when I was but a child, and I lost 3 rear teeth for it, so never again, initiate. Anyways, joking aside, is there anything I can do for you, prior to beginning this process?
No, I think directly to it's probably the way to go.
Understood, my child. My apologies. Initiate. Or would you prefer Sentinel?
She considers for a second and then whichever you find proper.
As it should be. Initiate. And you hear, with your decent passive insight, kind of that drip off his tongue like venom. Like he just did not want to say it, but he was going to use the lesser of those 2 positions and make you hear it. And you picked that up. And he did it well. Like the untrained ear wouldn't have caught that. You were like, oh, okay, bitch, that's a game we playing. Well.
Amelia doesn't react negatively to it. She almost smiles there, just in acknowledgement, in a little bit of the, no, I know this, I saw what game we were playing kind of look.
Yeah, it was a word game for sure. You got it. He takes his cane again and he kind of walks around, and he's hobbling. By the way, he looks like he's borderline crippled. Now, he was having trouble walking when you knew him prior to leaving, but it has become exponentially worse. Like, his legs are swollen and kind of fattened at the bottom. Like, where his robes kind of rise up, you can see like little bits of socks and linen wrapped, but there's like you can see like some purple bruising. It looks like it's not necessarily an injury. It's probably because of his weight and more or less a diabetes thing, or maybe even like bad gout.
Is this, thinking through it medically, just healer brain for a moment, does that progression make sense?
Make a medicine check. You've been gone for many weeks. It's actually been like a month and a half. So as far as like the progression, maybe not in a younger, healthier person, but he is an elderly human man who is extremely unhealthy and overweight. So if he has continued those eating habits and not really taken care of himself, yeah, probably. He's digressing. I mean, his overall health is just not, it's not improving.
Are you all right? Would you rather sit so we could speak?
No. If we're going to take to this process, we should head down into the chamber of judgment below the church. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Thank you so much. Well, he kind of lifts his robes up and shows you his ankles, and they are just purple. And he goes, "Unless you can cure the king's disease, I know I should lay off the sweetmeats, but it's my only vice."
You know, and this is a cat comment, oddly enough, lay on hands doesn't say anything about curing gluttonous pricks, so yeah.
Zing!
What are you gonna do?
Alright. He kind of turns to walk away. As he does so, Amelia, you notice very clearly he stops dead in his tracks, especially because of his slow, measured movements. He stops dead in his tracks, and he looks down at the mark on your hand. And you see he stares at it for a moment, doesn't say anything, but he turns afterwards and continues to walk. Come, initiate. I believe...
What was his, like, was that, obviously there was recognition there. Was there anything else besides recognition?
Make an insight check.
Nope.
It was tough. It was fast.
That would require me thinking about the mark, and I don't want to do that. We're ignoring that. So, okay. Then yeah, she'll follow.
All right. So as he kind of leads you in the direction that he's going, I'm going to move him a little bit quicker. He kind of nods to the acolytes as he walks by. And you hear him actually say, he'll say in Celestial, as he walks past, "Nobody in, nobody out. The initiate is taking to the Hall of Judgment." They don't respond, they simply nod.
Having spent a whole lot of time here, do I have any idea what the hell that is?
Yeah. I mean, it is a place below the temple. Now, it's nowhere you would have ever gone because you are not part of the clergy in any way, shape, or form, and never were officially. But you would know that, yeah, below the temple, there is a place, there is another level below the temple. There is a place down here where they bury important dead. There is a place where they hold, like, enemies of the church. And then there is a place that is referred to as... Nah, you know what? You wouldn't have known that. But you definitely know that down here there is, like, a very specific mausoleum. And there is a judgment hall, essentially. So...
Okay.
As you walk in, I'm going to give you a little bit of context here. So a pair of heavy oak doors on opens, excuse me, it's a single oak door. So a heavy oak door opens into a room whose scent is immediately recognizable. Aged parchment, lamp oil, cedar shelving, and dust undisturbed by anything except for careful hands. The library is warm in both color and atmosphere. Rich wooden floors replace the cold stone sanctuary, muffling footsteps beneath polished planks, worn smooth by decades of scholars. Tall bookcases stand in orderly rows, each meticulously organized. The shelves are neither overflowing nor sparse. Every volume appears to have a place. Against the northern wall sits a modest librarian's desk where an acolyte patiently copies manuscripts. And that is this guy here. Maps of neighboring settlements, astronomical charts, genealogical records, and illuminated copies of Celestian scripture fill much of the collection in this library. Near the rear of the room, partially concealed by additional shelving, rests a heavy iron-bound hatch set flush into the wooden floor. It is not hidden, merely uninviting. Its iron ring has been polished by frequent use despite lying well away from the normal paths taken through the library. No sign marks its purpose, no explanation is offered, and no one approaches it casually, seemingly anyways. The silence here is different from the sanctuary. It's not reverent. It's watchful. So, Brother Mail begins to move through the rows of books to the hatch. And he gets to the hatch, and he reaches down with one hand, and he pulls the hatch up, and you see a set of stairs leading what would be the equivalent of down towards the main sanctuary, underneath the floorboards. And again, he says in Celestial to the acolyte, "No one in, no one out. The initiate is taking to the Hall of Judgment." And you see the acolyte kind of looks up, and he nods, and he looks back down. And he begins to descend the stairs.
And as tempted as I am to just push, I will behave and follow.
Oh, fucking do it. That changes this entire session.
Just Brother Mile. Oops.
Yeet! Alright, so, Amelia. Now, you guys, you chumps are up in the corner just so that you have a frame of reference here. You guys descend the stairs. I'm going to read something to you, just to give you a little bit more context to this room. So, the stairs descend into a chamber unlike any other within the temple so far. Smooth stone tiles radiate outward in intricate concentric pattern, drawing the eye toward the solitary marble pedestal standing at the room's center. Upon it burns a single eternal lantern, its steady white flame casting gentle light across the chamber without smoke or heat. 4 brass lanterns stand evenly spaced around the perimeter, each resting on a polished stone pedestal. Their flames burn with the same unwavering brilliance, bathing the room with warm, radiant light that leaves remarkably few shadows. Tall stone columns rise towards the vaulted ceiling, giving the chamber an almost timeless stillness. Every footstep echoes softly before fading into silence. At the southern end of the hall rests an immense globe, nearly 6 feet in diameter. Crafted from polished bronze and darkened steel, its surface depicts the known heavens with astonishing detail. Constellations sacred to Celestian are etched in silver, while delicate brass rings allow the sphere to slowly rotate with surprising ease. It exists solely for quiet contemplation. The silence here feels peaceful, yet somehow expectant. So, Brother Mail descends. He's a little bit ahead of you, and he's kind of breathing and panting heavily as you guys are getting into this part now, because, you know, he's 72 and 380 pounds. He's not meant for stairs. He comes in as he begins to move to the south, and underneath the large sphere, he says again in Celestial, "The initiate is here for the Hall of Judgment. No one in, no one out." And he opens the door and begins to walk down the hallway. You stop me if there's anything I need to know.
Nope. I think she just is going to take a second look at the moon, remind herself that in this place especially, she's not without Celestian. Because as we descend into the depths and the terrors, I can't keep moving, unfortunately. I'm stuck in a wall.
I got you. Hold on. I'll grab everyone and put you in here so you can see. I know you guys have limited vision. Nah, well, I'm talking to everyone else. Sorry, that was to Candace. I meant to say that off mic. I apologize. Just so everyone's got a view. When you two enter, there is a soft... And then this acolyte here steps over and closes the door. So, Amelia, you enter this room. To give you, again, a little bit of context. So the final door in the hallway opens into a chamber carved deep beneath the temple, where the warmth of its upper halls gives way to cool stone and absolute silence. The room is stark. 4 thick columns support the vaulted ceiling, their weathered faces bearing centuries of chisel marks. Torches burn steadily with iron sconces, filling the chamber with flickering amber light that dances across the polished stone. At the center of the room stands a simple oak table. Upon it rests the solemn implements of ecclesiastical judgment. Iron shackles, a leather-bound confession ledger, a wax seal bearing the crest of Celestian, a silver ink pen. No instruments of torture, no executioner's tools, only objects required to hear testimony, record judgment, and determine the fate of the accused. A heavy iron brazier burns nearby, its glowing coils filling the room with the scent of charcoal and incense. Against the eastern wall rests a ceremonial longsword displayed on a wooden table. Its blade gleams despite its obvious age. Below it, engraved into the stone, are simple words. Justice must remain beyond reproach. 3 small prison cells line the southern wall. Each contains little more than a narrow cot, a blanket, and a water bucket. The center cell seems to be occupied. Corin sits quietly upon the edge of his bed. His clothes are worn, his beard has grown, dark circles rest beneath his tired eyes. Yet, despite his confinement, he appears remarkably well cared for. He bears no obvious wounds, no bruises, no signs of abuse, only exhaustion. When the heavy doors open, he slowly looks up, and when he sees Amelia's eyes, you notice relief, and then shame. And that's where we were going. Sorry, I was trying to get Brother Mail down there and read all this for you. So as you enter, that is pretty much what you get. The door opens, and Brother Mail, who's sweating bullets at this point. This has been the most exercise he's done in a long time. But he kind of leans in, and you hear, Corin, it is time. Judgment is here. And you see Corin kind of stand up. Let me give you a very quick...
I have a brief question.
Sure.
Having interacted with him before, does Brother Mail speak Elven?
Would you have ever tried to speak to him in Elven?
being around him and around the church, just with
Just in
other
general?
people there. Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a fair point. Yes, he does speak Elven.
Okay.
You would actually know that he speaks Common, Celestial, Elven, Gnomish, Sylvan, and... Give me a second. Damn it. Give me a second. Nope, Sylvan would have been the last one. Yep.
Okay. If I happen to know that he didn't speak a lick of Elven, that would have been very convenient. But no.
Alright, so Corin kind of steps forward and he looks up at you, Amelia. He's not shackled, he's not chained or anything. He just kind of looks up at you. He looks very tired and he kind of half smiles and he says, "Oh, I didn't know it was going to be you."
Are you all right?
Kind of looks down at himself, kind of pulls his shirt out and like looks down at his chest. Amelia, why don't you give me a medicine check? Not great. I would assume at this point, seeing the situation and knowing the situation, I mean, being your dad, that she's probably pretty fucking overwhelmed. Correct me if I'm wrong.
She's trying so hard to just like stay professional
Yeah.
and to not immediately like go and hug or react. She's trying so hard.
He does look okay. I mean, he looks exhausted, but physically, he has no broken bones, nothing's in a sling, he has no visible open wounds. He's a little gaunt, but it's not necessarily emaciation, it's more like he's not sleeping. He looks tired. So he responds though and he says, yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. Looks to Brother Mail. Can we get this over with, please? I think I've been through enough. Brother Mail kind of looks at him and actually looks pretty solemn, but he says, Of course. Of course. Yes. And Corin, she's many days early. So this was important. He kind of nods, looks back at the floor, steps out of the chamber. Well, let's get the judgment underway. Initiate, if you could please take your place next to the brazier. And he kind of steps around the right side of it. Go ahead.
Before I do, is there anything that says that I can't touch him?
You see he actually thinks earnestly. He kind of glances around the room. No.
I'm
No,
gonna
there's not.
hug. He gets the no out, and she immediately is going to go and just hug her dad.
Okay, yeah, so you throw your arms around him, and he kind of resists at first. He's taken aback, and he kind of takes a couple of deep breaths, and then he begins to sob uncontrollably. And regardless of what he does or does not know, you hear him whisper in Elven, and he just goes, I fucked up. I fucked up.
That's okay. No,
it's not.
We'll get through this. We will. Have faith.
He kind of takes a deep breath. Actually, make a persuasion check for me with advantage because you're your daughter, only daughter. Nope, sorry, I shouldn't have shared that. Maybe she has 20 siblings. I don't know.
She acts like an only child.
She is an only child. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Does whatever the fuck she wants.
Okay, fuck, that's really good. Okay, he takes a couple really like deep, cool, calm, collected breaths, and then he kind of like squeezes your sides and kind of pulls you away. And he nods. All right. He kind of looks at Mail. You see Mail kind of points his hand down in front of the brazier. Over here, if you wouldn't mind. Unless, of course, Initiate, you needed another moment.
She's going to instead look to her dad and, are you ready for this? And that'll be, sorry, I should have clarified. She'd be speaking in Elven to her dad.
Yeah, so you, he would respond to you with, I think you should ask yourself that, sweetheart.
And she's just gonna take a second and nod. And then she's going to just kind of put her hand on his arm for a moment and then turn and walk to her place. Because he said by the brazier, right?
Yes. Okay. So Corin also kind of steps around. And he puts himself kind of in front of the brazier, turns around. And as he is standing there, okay, this next bit could be potentially a little bit on the long side. So Amelia, why don't you, can I get one more perception check out of you? I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick.
The perception.
Yeah, perception. And then if there's anything else that like Lyra or Kane you are doing in the intermediary portion of this, or Dench and Payne, if there's anything that's been kind of unfolding, please let me know now.
This is going to be a big surprise, but Lyra has questions.
About Temet.
About unicorns. No, about Temet, yeah.
I mean, both would be valid.
I've got all of the questions answered I need about unicorns. Thank you very much. It's because of you, Payne. I want to see that head bob.
I've got all the answers about unicorns. Well, one unicorn.
And that's why I don't ask the questions.
I'll tell you anyway.
You usually do, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think the only passive thing Payne will be doing is like surveying the health of the population in general. Just like, oh, there's a poor person. Oh, he's in bad shape. Oh no, this is a very healthy town, or that sort of thing.
Okay, while that's happening, why don't you go ahead and just give me a medicine, yeah, give me a medicine check. Give me a medicine check. All right, 22. So the overall health and wellness of almost every single person you see is damn near perfect. It seems like a lot of these people are tied very directly to the land, and the land is... There's a lot of magic in this place, okay? There is clearly a lot of natural magic flowing around between, again, the Eladrin that you see, kind of shifting from place to place, the Furbolg, who have a natural tie to nature, and then all of these damn fairy folk. The healing here is actually higher than probably anywhere you've ever seen outside of a church. Or the healing capability. That's kind of like what you get. And it's not even necessarily on like a religious level. That's on like a divine level. Like people are just like holy shit. Do y'all need help? Everyone here's okay? Is everything good? Or is this just like a ruse? Is this the runes of Ankmir all fucking over again?
Everybody's
Most of them
actually
aren't
dead
alive.
here.
Just backwards.
Ah, got you again, bitches.
Worse, we never left the ruins.
Oh,
My
that would be.
Ooh.
Ooh, I
See,
like
if
it.
you do that,
Don't
I
give
hate
him
you and
another
I'll play with
idea.
you more.
Yeah, see, the whole trick of this entire campaign is that you guys figure out in 50 sessions that you all died when Amelia fucking tried to break Ilara out. Ooh, that I like that. Okay, anyways.
I think for Dench's part, he'll be almost the exact opposite. Seeing like he's looking for threats. He's looking for like exit strategy. He's like, all right, if we need to get the fuck out of here quickly, which direction? What's danger? All that.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and just give me an investigation check, and that's just going to be or survival. Your call. I'll give you different information based on both.
It's exactly the same. So I'll just do investigation.
Perfect. Okay, so from where you're at, the easiest way out of town is to the west, because the bridge is right fucking there, and that's back to the ship. You know how to shoot straight across town without little interference, because it's really open. But as far as, like, watching the people here, they're, like, it's weird. Like, normally in big cities and places that you are used to, it's like everyone has a weapon.
Pickpockets.
Yeah, like you've got pickpockets and cutthroats and thugs and charlatans. And here, I mean, people are literally like, you watch like a group of people pushing a cart and the wheel on the cart breaks. All of a sudden, there's 25 people there, 4 of them lifting the cart off the ground, 1 person putting it back on, and then another person casting an incantation which fixes the broken wheel. It's very strange. But there's a harmony to it.
Having come from the ruins at this point, that makes him even more suspicious at this point. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, he's just now is a little bit less low key stressing. Is a little bit more high key, mid key stressing, maybe.
Mid key stress. Got it. Okay. As that's all transpiring on the surface, Lear, I know you said you had questions, but I can't really do anything for you because I haven't given you information about what you do or don't know yet. Mm-hmm. So is that anything that I don't think it can be.
So she would be asking him, the only question she really had was about the poem, if he had an understanding specifically about the items. So
that is something we'll come back to because that's a specific roleplay point I want to touch on. I promise you that's in my notes. I actually thought you guys were going to bring it up before she left and you didn't, so now it's just going to have to be backburnered, okay? All right. And then whatever information I give you about Temet Nu, if you have questions about that, we will absolutely work through that as well. Okay. Here we go. So, Amelia, Brother Male, he does take a couple, like, deep breaths before even beginning this. He walks down and he picks up a small, leather ledger, off of the table, and he flips it open, and, he begins to read. And he says, Corin, you know why you stand here today, as you have freely and willingly, without any coercion from the church or any individual who resides within it, given your testimony and your confession. Is that correct? You see, Corin nods, and he actually, like, glances up at you, Amelia, and he, like, nods earnestly. And he looks to Amelia. And Initiate Amelia of the Order of the Silver Star, you have graced us with your presence, per the calling that was put out to you by the Order of Celestian himself, from Mount Celestia. And he pulls out a small piece of paper and he lays it on the table. And you see at the bottom of it, you see that seal. And it radiates with divine energy, Amelia. And the paper is pretty much like what I'm assuming you probably take it and give it a once over at least in the midst of this. There is nothing fishy about it. However, it is essentially a request for inquisitorial investigation regarding this situation, which is involving Corin, and it is considered level 1 high priority. It is approved, and the seal is placed on the bottom. And that's that.
No details in it.
Nothing
Other than-
specific.
Level 1 high priority.
Yep,
Okay.
and there is notes in there that details have been transferred to the internal archives. This is simply the approval letter for the whole thing to happen.
I think as she reads through what little's there, she's just going to, as she's slugging her way through it, Lyra kind of pops into her brain, and then Dench and Payne reiterating Lyra. What is all of this about?
Well, Initiate, these are formal proceedings, so if I may continue with the procedure. He looks to you earnestly for approval.
She just lets out a breath through her nose and just continue.
Very well. So, Corin, who is officially, by the way, a member of the church, of the congregation, after your exodus from Holden Glen, has willingly admitted to the charges that stand before him. Or, Initiate, would you rather hear the confession first?
Just continue with the proceedings, I suppose.
As you wish, Initiate. He looks back down at his book. He flips a page. Corin of Holden Glen stands accused of the following crimes before the Church of Celestian: lying to clerical authority, desecration of a corpse, providing a corpse to an unholy entity, aiding and abetting unholy organizations, and treason against the High Church of Celestian. He flips a page. Now, before judgment is rendered in any way, shape, or form, Initiate, I'd like to offer Corin an opportunity to read his confession. After that, we can explain the investigatory work and proceed with judgment.
She looks just absolutely stunned. She nods and just nods again. Can't get any words out. At least no words that should be said in a holy place.
Okay. He Brother Male looks to Corin, and he nods, and he kind of gestures to him, and Corin reaches into his vest pocket, and he pulls out a small piece of parchment, and he unfolds it. I, Corin of Holden Glen, and the Church of Celestian, make this confession freely and without coercion, knowing that I stand before the light of Celestian, from whom no truth may be hidden. I seek neither to excuse my actions nor lessen the weight of my sins. I ask only that the whole truth is known before judgment is passed. Eight years ago, my beloved wife was laid to rest. Though I endeavored to remain steadfast for the sake of my daughter Amelia, My strength was little more than a mask worn by day. By night, I would walk to my wife's grave, sit beneath the stars, and beg the heavens to return her to me. I prayed without ceasing. I pleaded for mercy. I asked for a sign, though none came. For 8 more years, this continued. And then, one day, a letter arrived. Within it was but a single word. In the weeks that followed, more letters came, each bearing only one word and no mark by which the sender might be known. When the final letter arrived, I assembled them in the order received, and together they formed a single message. You see him take a deep breath and a sigh. Ease your pain and bring her to us. She will be born anew. 42 South, 12 East. I believed in my grief and blindness that the message had been sent in answer to my prayers. I told no one of its existence, not my daughter, not my newfound brethren within the temple, not even those friends I claimed I intended to visit. I feared they would think me mad, or worse, deny me the only hope that I believed remained. After Amelia departed Holden Glen to continue her service to Celestian, I officially devoted myself fully to the temple. I offered tithes from my harvest, labored whenever the priests required it, and sought to quiet the thoughts that consumed me. Yet that message never left my heart. So, in short time, grief overcame both reason and faith. Under the pretense of visiting my companions from my years in the town's guard, I exhumed my wife, my late wife. I carried her remains to the place described within the letters northeast of Willow Hollow, where several robed priests met me. They spoke very kindly. They claimed that death was never the end, and they told me that my wife would be restored to life, stronger than before, and that once their sacred work had been completed, that she would be returned safely to Holden Glen. They asked for no payment beyond my trust, and I believed them. Without resistance or hesitation, I surrendered my wife's remains into their keeping, and I departed. Thereafter, additional letters began to arrive. They assured me that the ritual was progressing, that success required patience, and that my wife would return soon. Although the language of these letters grew increasingly strange and troubling, I chose hope over wisdom and accepted each one as confirmation that the miracle I desired was drawing near. She has yet to return. Only after recent days did I begin to understand the enormity of what I had done. By my own hand, I desecrated the resting place of my wife. I entrusted her remains to strangers whose intentions I neither questioned nor understood. I concealed acts, these acts, from those who loved me, my daughter, from the church I now claim to serve. Whether I was deceived or merely a willing fool is for wiser souls to determine. I only know that my grief became the doorway through which evil has entered, and that my choices cannot be undone. He looks up at Amelia and tries to catch her gaze as best as he can.
Not hard to do. She is staring at him wide-eyed. There was at first the like grief, and then a little bit of shock, a lot of shock, a little bit of horror, and then back to shock, and then just the look of, oh no, like, how, why, what? But she is staring at him, but at no point there's not anger or shame or anything there. It is just, there's the grief mixed with the shock.
So this next bit, he glances down at the paper to read from it directly, but he does continue to glance up at you and make eye contact. I confess freely to the charges brought against me. I ask for no mercy that justice does not permit, and I seek no lessening of punishment on account of my sorrow. My only remaining prayer is that those responsible for deceiving me be found before they visit such suffering upon another family. May Celestian judge me according to truth, rather than the lies I believed. Signed, Corin of Holden Glen. And he folds the paper up, and he hands it to Amelia.
Yeah, she's going to, that part makes the tears spill there. But she blinks several times and then takes it. And she's going to look over it again, or look over it.
Sure, as you're doing that, Brother Male does speak up, just so you know. And he says, My child, excuse me, Initiate. I know this is not easy to hear or to be a part of. However, I'd like to explain the investigatory portion of this so there are no questions left unanswered. Oh, sorry, go ahead if you had something.
She was just said, then explain.
As you know, part of the church's process is for weekly Monday morning confession, as a practice intended to lift and release the spirits of the congregation from any sins that may have been wrought in the prior weeks. We took Corin in, welcomed him to the church after your expeditious departure from Holden Glen, and performed this very service for him weeks after you left. It was during one of these confessions that Corin gave us some information regarding what had happened. Unfortunately, when we pieced this together with the word that reached us from Willow Hollow regarding the suspected nefarious deeds taking place within the exact coordinates of his own letters received by these entities, we had to press more. And so we had to apprehend him at your homestead and bring him in for questioning, where under a Zone of Truth spell, he did tell us everything as was intended, and as you just heard. I'm sorry that it's had to come to this, Amelia, but, one moment. He reaches into his vestment, and he reaches into like a small side satchel, and he reaches straight over the brazier, and he hands you a small stack of black parchment.
She's going to take them. She's not putting down her the confession at the moment, but she is going to take them and look at them.
Okay, here you go. These are the letters that we were able to obtain from Corin after the confession and the zone of truth. The charge of lying to clerical authority, obviously, stems from the initial partial confession and then lie. But everything else speaks for itself, I believe.
Does any of this speak to anything I might have heard about or read, or any other, specifically that top right one? If that might mean anything.
In the what sense? The natural world, the religious, the arcane, the what exactly are you looking
It's
for?
realistically, it's probably the things that go bump in the night side of things. That feels very, I don't know, necromancy.
Absolutely.
Maybe?
100%. Give me an intelligence check.
Because she's racking her brains desperately for. No.
Holy shit. Wow. You know what? I've seen you roll negatives on that check, so
No.
no, I'm yeah, no, you are so I think that at this point Amelia, after hearing what she just heard and seeing what she's seeing in front of her, is so fucking overwhelmed that emotional intelligence is overriding every bit of physical intelligence she has, and it is you're this close to I assume you are like this close to not having a good fucking day.
I don't know if any part of this day has been good. Except for the fact she didn't have to listen through 8 hours of the
Of
prologue.
Temetnu liturgy. All right.
She, I think at that point she's reading them, and the words aren't really even making sense as she's reading them. She does not have Canis speak in her brain there. She just, like, she reads them and rereads them, and then is there more?
Brother Mail. Oh,
All
sorry,
of
go ahead.
this?
Brother Mail shakes his head. There isn't anything more, except for what we've been able to piece together from what is happening in Willow Hollow, and ironically enough, what is happening with you and your companions, apparently on this journey, uncovering, again, ironically, all of the information gathered for us regarding this situation.
So then what judgment, what sentence does any of this lead to?
It's not good. For the charges of lying to clerical authority, desecration of a corpse, providing a corpse to an unholy entity, aiding and abetting unholy organizations, and treason against the Church of Celestian. The High Church has passed judgment, Amelia, and the punishment, and he turns back and points to the longsword, is death. As soon as he says death, Amelia, the mark on your hand flashes into existence. It rockets with like fiery, almost borderline infernal energy. And you hear a voice in your mind kind of overcome you. And by the way, Brother Mail's back is turned. Nobody seems to notice this except for you and maybe Corin looking down at you and kind of like, what the fuck? But as it flashes open, Excuse me. You hear a very familiar voice open up in your mind.
It is time. Bring me corn. Alive. You have 3 weeks.
And the symbol dulls as Brother Male turns back and looks at you.
I'm pretty sure her immediate mental response there, and it's not measured or practiced or anything else that's Amelia there. Her immediate mental response is just like hell. Because that's what immediately popped into my brain. And she's not thinking clearly.
I told you when you sent me your backstory, I was gonna fuck you up.
Yep. She has now had a couple of mental communication type things. Does it feel like something's listening?
As far as
she can send a message.
yeah, like as far as the sending spell is concerned, no, there does not seem to be any line of communication because that usually comes with a static. And as soon as that message is sent, the symbol goes inert.
And any pain with it this time?
A little bit, but not much. It's a burning sensation. It's like you got your knuckles too close to the campfire.
Okay. If either of them are watching her expression, when it flashes, there is a look of the damn near the closest thing to rage Amelia's ever felt, before she tries to get her paladin face back on.
I'm sorry, say that last bit again.
I said if either of them are watching her, her expression when the sigil, the mark flashes, there is as close of a look of rage as Amelia has ever had for a moment before she fights to get her, paladin face back on.
Nobody seems to entirely notice, but I mean, Corin is also a blubbering mess right now. He just had to confess some pretty terrible shit to you, so. Yeah, Brother Male kind of looks to you now expectantly, as he's actually taken a little bit of a step back and is now kind of gesturing down to the sword.
Sentence, death, is that sentence to be passed immediately?
Well, you have arrived to your summons, so you intend to pass judgment, as is the ways of the Order, I would assume.
Yes, I came here to make sure that I did my, and she pauses, takes a second, takes a deep breath, kind of reaches up for holy symbol again. Yes, I came to see my duty done properly, in accordance with, well, my role as an initiate, as sentinel of the celestial expanse, as all of that. And that role is beyond just here and this, so I'm asking if death needs to happen immediately.
Well, Sentinel, the Proper documents are in place. The evidence has been provided for you, as well as a confession. The High Church of Mount Celestia has signed off on this via the Celestian Inquisition. Yes, you've come here to pass judgment, and that was what we came down here to do, so we must do this now, not just for you, Sentinel, for the accused to move on in the afterlife. It is not fair to keep them waiting, knowing what is coming.
There's. You said a thing about this relating to that which my companions and I have been doing, and I think that you're right on that, but that means that if that judgment is passed now, it could harm much more. And she's trying so desperately to like put pieces together.
Yeah, you see Brother Mail kind of shrug his shoulders and he goes, "How? Everything's already laid out. We've determined from your own group's investigation that there are these bone fragments that have some sort of unholy or infernal incantation or aura upon them, that have a disease that are making people go berserk, and that all of this, through all of your travels so far, Initiate, lead back to these coordinates very specifically. And your father has taken something precious and gifted it to these entities. The confession was free of coercion. What else is there to delve into?"
Do you think that it's any coincidence that my path led me and the others here before we traveled to those coordinates?
No. You were summoned here with a timeline. I think you were expeditious.
As Lyra likes to say, there's not a such thing as a coincidence there. How would the church, what does the process look like if the accused is needed for a greater investigation?
Well,
It does not get him out of the crimes committed here, and I know that.
you'd have to explain yourself to the High Church. That process could take a couple of weeks and probably a substantial amount of monetary effort if you have the availability, but you'd have to be able to explain yourself. What does this judged individual have to do with a greater investigation? He has already done his part, and it was terrible, Amelia. Excuse me. Sentinel. You catch him starting to slip.
How much she catches that right now.
Probably
Cat
not.
does.
Yeah.
These fragments, this cult, the entity behind all of that. As of right now, he's the only one that's had those kinds of communications could potentially help identify, prevent future any of that?
Incorrect. We've received word from Willow Hollow that there's another who's had communications from within the towers.
What have you heard?
That has nothing to do with this judgment.
If it's the difference between him being needed elsewhere and judgment and that sentence being done now, doesn't it have everything to do with it? She's also slipping a little bit there.
No. No, it doesn't. You have two options, Initiate. Sentinel. You can either carry out this judgment, or this judgment will be carried out for you. I highly suggest you reflect inwardly, so as to not upset the Lord of the Astral Bodies.
There's another look, less angry. But she, and I will trust that your investigations were done properly. And she's going to, in Elven, just single word, just Dad, with a clear question mark.
As you say that, you see Corin, he takes a little bit of a step back. And he gets on his knees and he kind of bends his head forward, and you hear him whisper in Elven, "I was supposed to protect you from this. I'm sorry. But I forgive you."
Did you do everything that you said that you did? And I'm going to be trying.
Yeah.
She's going to be looking for any hints that it's not fully him.
So go ahead and roll an insight check, but listen to what he says. You hear, "I did every single thing I said I did, and I am so sorry for my lack of wisdom and my raw stupidity. I tried to... When your mother... And then you left. Oh, God. Make it quick, please." You can give me an insight check, though, if you want to try to read into it. Ooh, 14. Okay. No, I mean, you're heightened. He's heightened. Even Brother Male is heightened, for better or worse. And yeah, the whole situation is tense as fuck, but he is telling you the truth. For what he believes is the truth.
Then screw everyone else in the room for a moment is kind of Amelia's reaction. She's going to go over to him. She's going to crouch by him, throw her arms around him in a hug, and just very quietly just, "I love you. I forgive you. I love you."
He doesn't say anything, but he does return the hug, and you can feel that, like, his cheeks and his jaw and his shirt are wet from tears. And you hear, you kind of see Brother Male's disgusting visage in the background.
If you're ready,
I am making a roll for a decision here.
Burn this bitch to the ground!
She turns and says, "You can fucking wait." And just snaps at him while hugging her dad.
Okay. He kind of jumps back momentarily and looks at you. You see the acolytes actually all start to reach down towards weapons, and he puts his hand up. No, no. No. She's but an initiate. She hasn't gained control yet. Let her have her peace. He does say that in Celestial, by the way.
There is a process to this. And that process involves showing compassion as well.
Male reluctantly nods to you. But you do hear him say, "It does. It does. Show your compassion."
And then, yeah, she's going to take another minute with her dad while he's still alive before she murders his ass. And let him kind of let both of them process emotions, spend their minute together. And then, yeah, she's going to stand up.
He gives you your time, and he kind of steps aside. Turns. Or kind of gestures down to the sword.
I'm gonna look at this damn sword. It's ceremonial, obviously, but
It is ceremonial, but just, yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and give me an investigation check. Yeah, because you're investigating it. Sure.
part of this is also her taking a second to steel herself.
Okay, so 9 isn't great, but yeah, it's ceremonial, but it does look sharp as shit. Like, you're not gonna have to hit him a couple times. It's gonna be a one and done. If you if you're real about it.
I hate all of this so much. Yep, I think she's going to. I hate it. She's going to pick it up. She is not going to strike the larger target that is right there and accessible. And she's going to. There is a prayer. Not for her own strength there, but for Corin, and for his soul to find Celestian's light.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, there is a piece in that as you kind of approach with the sword. Brother Male kind of takes another half step back and watches it, and then you hear him as you are saying that he utters your prayer. He copycats it, which is like, you feel however you want to feel, but it's like, man, fuck you. Okay, fuck you. But he does utter it like, yeah, I hope he finds the realm of the Star-Lord, and you know, peace be with you. We didn't want this to go this way, but boy, it did.
And then I think she I hate it. she's going to wait to make sure that there's nothing else that that Corn's going to say, like gives him that space.
Yeah. As you kind of like, I assume, raise the sword up into the kind of like executioner's pose, you do hear him say in Elven one more time, "I forgive you. Do it."
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna kill my dad.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Okay, I'm not even gonna make you, you know what, Kevin? I saw that. Yeah, so, yeah, it's pretty hardcore, but, look, you don't know. When she tells you her backstory, it'll make sense. So you come down with the sword, and for the sake of brevity, it is quick, it is clean. I'm not going to make you roll for it. It's the equivalent of like an old school coup de grace. Like if somebody is out, they're just out, and boom, one and done. Doesn't even see it coming. Doesn't even blink. Doesn't even flinch. Doesn't even feel it. It's just done. And it's true, by the way. The sword is sharp as shit. It cleaves straight through the back of his neck, and his head is off. And unfortunately there is a shitload of blood, but it's fast. As that happens, there is a dullness in your mind, Amelia. You cleave his head, and as you pull the blade back and the blood kind of continues to drip and spill off, it's like if you, the best way to explain it is like if you've ever jumped underwater and gone too far down and you feel the silence of being too deep underwater, it's like that, and it just sticks. You can still hear people talking clearly, but the pressure, like the physical pressure on your actual ears, remains. You still feel, by the way, that you are completely capable of doing everything you are capable of doing on your character sheet. Just to be clear.
Natural emotion
Yeah.
side of things, not the I just severed my connection with everything. Okay. Then she just she's going to turn and just look at Brother Male, not maliciously, but still holding the sword covered in blood, with the growing pool of blood and corpse behind her, and she's just going to look at him, and there's absolutely no emotion.
He rushes to you, Amelia. He rushes to you, and as he does so, he reaches out for the blade, and he kind of takes it from what I assume is probably trembling hands.
It's there's
Or
no
is it just
resistance
totally
there.
subconscious?
Yeah, it's the very numb is how I take that.
So he takes it. There's an acolyte that runs over. He hands it off to the acolyte. The acolyte takes it and begins to ceremonial clean it. And he puts his hands on your shoulder, and they're grimy and they're thick and they're heavy. But you hear his voice kind of through the numbness, and you hear him say, "I am so sorry, Amelia, that had to happen the way it did. If there is anything the church can do for you in the days to come, please let me know."
His body. I'm his next of kin.
Do with it what you must. We can lay a ceremonial brick in the upstairs wall, if you would like, and he is welcome to be buried in the graveyard adjacent to the church, should it fit your needs, and his, as a devout follower of Celestian, in your absence, of course.
And she'll just kind of numbly nod. the brick next to is her mother's name in the church upstairs?
You know what? That's a good question. Did we ever determine, was she a follower? Was she dedicated to the church? I don't
I feel like
remember.
you guys said it a couple of times to Lyra.
Maybe we did. I don't remember. There's so much going on in Amelia's
I
backstory.
honestly
I don't remember either. We'll say yes. Yes, there is. Yes. Yeah, she was a follower. Dad wasn't, though, initially, but he became after you left.
next to next to her, please.
Of course. Of course. Yes. Yes. Yes, 100%. Yes, we will have that done. And we will start it immediately. As for the remains, allow us to at least prepare them for any ceremonial viewing before the burial is set up. For now, you have done your duty under the watch of the Lord of the Heavens. So go in peace for now. Take what rest you need, and any respite you might require. We are here to help you.
And I think she's going to just kind of nod again, and she's not thinking of anything else there. She's going to try and see herself back out through the church.
Okay. Acolytes.
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, no,
She's
please
not
go ahead.
going to clean off blood or anything. She's just heading out.
Okay. Yeah, acolytes rush to the door as you begin to make your way out because they kind of seem to well, yeah, you have a really good passive insight. How the fuck did you end up with that? Oh, it's wisdom. I know 14 is better than, trust me, 14 is better than half the group, so
I've got a strong personality and occasional moments of wisdom I can repeat from things I barely could read.
that is true. So as you get back out, you get back out to the surface, and I'm just going to kind of move you guys forward. I'm going to move you forward to have about 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. We'll see how the night goes of RP. So you get back out to the surface, and you get back in, you go through the church, up the stairs, out the library, through the grand sanctuary, boom, out into the open. As you move down about 150 feet or so, all of a sudden, Dench and Payne, you realize, and I'm assuming, Amelia, correct me if I'm wrong, you're moving towards the Temple of Temetnu, right? Like, you're just done with this place and you need to just go. You're acting on instinct. Oh.
She's just walking. I don't even think she's thinking about where she's going there.
Fair enough. We'll just say, for the sake of brevity, you exit, and Dench and Payne,
Dench would be
okay, yeah, Dench's got a pretty good perception. Yeah.
He'd be keeping an eye on the door.
Yeah. So as you've already, right, and you've already looked around at the people around you, you've looked at your escape routes, you've looked at what is the scary thing here, and you haven't found anything, and then all of a sudden, an hour and some change later, Amelia comes walking out the door. And as she's walking out the door, she's still dressed in all of her clothes. She starts to walk past you guys, but in a direction that doesn't make sense, like southwest. And the front of her clothes are
covered in blood.
Covered in not like serial killer swimming pool blood, but like a huge spatter of blood. And it's like on her face, and she doesn't even fucking realize it.
Dench would probably jump up, and he takes off his cloak, he wraps it around Amelia. Let's go back to the temple.
Yeah. I know. We need to get going. I know.
No. You need to rest.
And she will follow.
All right.
You have me crying like real life so bad right now.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I had to hurt you like that, but you gave me such an amazing character.
It's fantastic, and I hate you so much for it right now.
I had to do some really terrible things. where are you guys going?
Dench would probably kind of beeline her directly to the temple of Temetnu. Um, not gonna say a word. Just like cloak around her shoulders, probably like kind of covering up the blood on like the front of her clothes or whatever. You know.
Payne, do you have anything while this is going down?
I think he's just going to have a look of shock and sadness about him and just follow behind Dench and Amelia without making eye contact, or I don't think he's going to say anything either.
All right. So as you guys are kind of just cooking through town, moving and grooving, you get to the Temple of Temetnu, and from the outside you can already hear, and then on the 8th day, she was born anew from the river of sludge that
Maybe not the
carved
temple of Temetnu.
and
You better save me, you asshole.
Please get us out.
No, he's going to the temple. He's going to the temple.
All right, so you guys roll up into the temple, and from behind you, Brother Kerpa kind of stops and he goes, "Oh, well, hello. What the fuck?
What is on
What in the
head?
fuck? Oh, I thought she was wearing a hat. She
Oh yeah, I had no idea what was happening there either.
lady's carrying a stuffy in her mouth. I swear to God, I thought she had a party hat on. I was like, whose birthday is it?"
She noticed Cat was crying.
She brought me her favorite toy.
That is amazing. I also love that toy. Is that the dragon from the wagon?
No, that one lost a wing and needs repairs. This
Can
one's
I
a hedgehog.
Can I see Amelia? I see she's standing in the doorway. Can I see?
Yeah, I've got people kind of moved around, cockeyed. Yeah, so they step it.
You'd probably see Dench and Amelia kind of. He would pretty much have like his arm around her as he's guiding her in.
And Payne stands at the doorway, leans against it with his head down.
Lyra would look at the gentle brother. I believe it's time for us to go.
Oh.
She stands up.
Yeah. Woo. I assume you are staying, champion?
Sorry, I have to go. I think one of us has been through something.
Oh. So much for all of the knowledge you wanted to gain.
We'll come back. Thank you very much.
Oh, great. Oh, you're all walking out. Take care. Take care. Thank you for coming.
Lyra is looking up at Amelia, and she'll kind of try to usher her out the door.
Yeah, Amelia has, rather than her usual blank and dumb expression, it's numb. Probably has the spray of blood still, and just
So,
she goes where directed.
how tall is Amelia?
I can tell you that specifically. She is 5'6".
Okay. As best as she can, Lyra's going to reach up and put a hand on each of her cheeks. And everything that you guys had seen Lyra obviously going through prior is gone. Everything is focused on Amelia right now. It's okay. Amelia. It's okay. You did what you had to. She's going to kind of look at Dench and Payne.
Payne is not looking. He is looking in the fountain.
We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Amelia. We're going to fix it. Okay? We'll fix it.
Did you get what you needed?
Sure.
Then Okay.
Okay. Okay. Um,
What preparations are needed? I'm saying this to Amelia.
What? For for what?
For
For
your
us to
father.
go?
no,
Oh,
for your
that's
father.
his body is going to be prepared. He can be buried or it doesn't really matter, does
Sure
it?
it does. We're gonna take his body with us.
You guys suddenly see the symbol on Amelia's hand flash to life again, and there is a heat, Amelia, that burns off of it, this time much brighter and a little bit more aggressive. It hurts a little more, but it doesn't cause you any actual physical damage. And you guys smell the pain. Pain. Pain, where are you? Oh, you're over by the hippo fountain. You smell brimstone. And as you smell the brimstone, you turn back and you see Amelia kind of like rear back instinctually on the hand. Amelia, you hear the following.
All right. Very well. You have chosen what becomes of Corin. Now I shall choose what becomes of you.
And the sigil dies down.
We don't hear. We don't.
Nope,
hear
you do.
anything.
None of you guys hear that. But you guys see it flash. She kind of rears back, and then as she lets go, the sigil.
With her hand still on Amelia's face, Lyra will say, "Tell us."
What was that?
He wanted my dad.
Okay.
Ooh, what was the yellow symbol? What?
That is the new. That's the new deal. Remember, I told you about the new deal.
Oh, right. Yes, that sigil. Yeah.
Okay. What happened, Amelia? Did you hear anything or see anything or?
Um, he said he will decide what's done with me, or something like that.
Is the
It-
symbol still on her hand?
It is.
While they're talking, I'm considering dispel magic on the symbol.
Okay. You're considering it, or you're
I
gonna
would
do it.
I would like can't if I look at it and
Ah,
logically can I dispel that and be rid of it?
sure. I see where you're going with that. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check. This is a very good question, Payne. You are fucking 3 for 3 tonight on these. That is awesome.
Holy shit, Payne.
Holy shit again. Who to wizard? Payne to wizard.
Hey.
Sorry. All right. So as you look at the sigil, and you kind of read what its like inner workings are, you pick up a couple of things. One, there is a hint of infernal contract in it, but not a full-blown infernal contract. The part about it that doesn't make sense that you pick up is that it's written in Draconic. You don't understand what it says, but it is infernally draconic in nature, and it is a pact bound to Amelia. You are almost positive that just with a standard dispel magic, you're not going to be able to do anything. Maybe then muffle whatever the effect is temporarily.
Payne would look at it and just and walk back to the fountain.
Okay, Amelia. I don't know what happened. You don't have to talk about it. But you obviously had to make a choice. People we love do stupid things for love. Okay. You made a choice. I'm assuming whatever he did had something to do with being a good person. We will fix this. And she's going to let go, and her hands, her palms are like bouncing between flame and electricity. Right now she is
Glad she lets go first.
yeah. But it's very obvious. I mean, she's standing there and she's like fist electricity, fist flame. They made you do it. They made you do it.
Lyra, maybe now's not the right time for this. Not the right time or at the right place.
Made a choice. And we are going to have to talk about it before we go to the coordinates.
We should probably talk about it on the ship. And he's definitely eyeing Lyra as he says that.
Yeah, her hands are still flashing between electricity and fire.
Pain, just your spell. You're the one that makes the pies. Can it feed a dog?
I used it this morning to have supplies on the ship.
We can give the dog rations. Do you want to get your dog?
And she nods.
Okay. It's best if we get the fuck out of here very soon.
Yeah, let's get out of here. There's nothing here we need anymore.
Are we having if he's going to be buried?
Would you?
That's going to take time. Or
he doesn't need to get buried. You want him back? We'll fix it.
Would you prefer to maybe have his body taken to your house and we can perhaps bury him there?
it would, I would say, bury him by. And she just starts crying.
Amelia, can we have him move to Willow Hollow? Because if we have his body moved to Willow Hollow, once we pay back what we need to the ledger, we can use it again to get him back.
You wouldn't want to come back.
She wraps her arms around Amelia's waist and squeezes tight and just starts crying. Nobody should have to go through what you just went through.
All of a sudden, after this, 13-minute conversation, there is a presence behind you guys as you are standing in the fucking doorway of this temple, and Brother Kerpa says, "Is everything... Oh, goodness, why so many tears? Too much salt in those tears, that's for the oceans. Come, come, you could have stayed inside to cry your rivers. What happened?"
We shouldn't impose. But we were talking about where Corin should be laid to rest.
Ah,
kind of reaches his hand out and puts it in between Amelia and Lyra and kind of pulls both of you in.
No need to worry about imposition. Come. Come sit. Have your conversation openly. It's okay. I'll put on tea.
And he kind of, as he starts to turn around, his head kind of comes up out of his shell and turns around, almost owl-like 360, but not entirely, or 180. But you hear him say,
Dwarf! I didn't get your name. But could you help me prepare tea?
Painstone back, sir, and I shall.
Thank you.
he whispers very loudly,
If you have something stronger, I'm all ears.
I wish I could, or did.
He kind of moves over to the table and he starts to grab up teacups. He's actually physically moving a lot faster than you guys had kind of picked up on last time. But if everybody enters, and you guys let me know what you want to do, but he begins to kind of move teacups and he gives simple instructions to Payne.
Please take this over to the censer.
Over here is where he points.
And, place them on the pots and gather fresh water from there.
And if everybody comes in, Lyra, are you not coming
She
in?
waits outside for just a second.
Okay, what do you want to do?
She's just chilling the fuck out so she can go back in. That's all. She just comes in after a minute.
Okay, well, we'll say for the sake of brevity then, as everybody has entered, the moments kind of have passed as far as the, because obviously there's a lot here. I get that. I wrote this. There's a lot. He turns towards the door, he snaps his fingers, and he traces this very simple sigil in the air. And as he kind of throws his hand towards the door, you guys see the ties on both of the curtains of the door kind of unfurl themselves, and the door slams shut. Quote unquote. It kind of just blocks all outside access. And he says,
There we go. Much more private. Is anybody hungry?
He seems earnest.
Not at this moment, thank you.
Okay,
He
go ahead.
is always hungry. That's one thing I've learned.
So he kind of... Oh, go ahead, please.
No, that was it. Just,
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. She's not wrong. He motions to the 3 table settings, and then he kind of pats his leg, and he says,
Come. Sit. Please. I will not impose, but this is a place of peace, and I believe we have a champion.
He looks down at Kana's.
Amongst us.
I don't think that helps in this situation.
It doesn't, but it grants you the authority to request peace, and peace is what you will get, dear Jackal.
Peace would be great, Amelia, Lyra. I think you two should sit down.
Just gonna turn, and Amelia's going to reach down, and if Lyra doesn't pull away, regardless of if there's elements, she would grab like Lyra's hand and just kind of come on, we should. I want to know what you learned.
The flames and electricity will stop on that hand. And she'll sort of begrudgingly take your hand, I guess, and allow herself to be led. But at first her feet just don't move.
All right. Are the two of you then gonna go ahead and have a
Yeah,
seat?
she'd probably stand next to Amelia's chair.
Yep, gonna try and. Yeah,
Okay.
Amelia's going to sit. She's going to try and get others to sit, but,
Brother Kerpa kind of laughs as he kind of looks at the open chairs. Please, please. I'm gonna shift you guys just a little bit. Is everyone standing, or are you guys just? Everyone standing?
Lyra's standing.
Nope,
I
I'll
don't
end up
know if I
sitting.
can sit right now. I'm fine standing.
Okay.
Canis
Yeah,
will
I'm
be
okay
in
standing
between.
as well.
Yeah, Canis will be in between Amelia and Lyra's chairs.
Got it.
But
I'll
he will
just-
be sitting on the floor.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Sit. Okay. All right. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. I know there's a lot of emotion, but we will pick up. This is a good place to pick up next session because it's a place where things can be discussed in a place of peace, and there is not all sorts of crazy, heated things happening in the rest of this town and or world. I'm sorry, Kat.
Oh, no, I
There-
knew what I gave you, but
I want
fuck.
I want you to I want you to know that I had multiple outcomes for how that went, and one of them was literally fuck you, and you grabbed that sword and murdered Male. I'm not kidding, because you guys are so fucking crazy sometimes. I thought there was a chance that you were gonna be like, fuck this guy, fuck that judgment, and it was just gonna be a done deal, and you were gonna fight your way out of here. I had to build for that, and it was amazing. By the way, that route would have been cool, but weird.
Yeah, and then we do go with the paladin warlock of Eric
Fuck
Knoll
yeah,
and the murder.
absolutely, 100%. Let's make this an evil campaign. Let's ride or die. No, I'm just kidding.
If you survive that.
Yeah, if you get, it's true. No armor, the sword, no shield.
Hey,
You did
that
have your
sword
holy
is-
symbol.
That sword is sharp as shit.
That is true. It is very sharp.
I did consider whether or not I needed to smite my father.
Oh god, that would have been hardcore with the damage. Oh, that I'm glad you didn't, because the descriptive would have had to have been much nastier than what it was. But I'm glad you
It was
did.
partially I'm making sure that the sword was actually going to do what it needed to do.
Fair point. Fair point. Okay.
Yeah, you suck for that in the best possible
Yikes.
narrative way. I'm a mess.
I wasn't kidding when I sent you a message. I said, "Look, Amelia's fucking personal plotline has officially reached over 20 pages. Like it's no bullshit. You give me a lot, I'll write a lot." And here we are. There's a couple of you too, by the way, that have gone past the pages I would have been okay with writing compared to my main plot. But we'll see you guys next week. Have a
Concerning knowing this now.
Oh, Dench. Ooh, hold on to your ass, because I got you on board next, baby. Dench's plotline is, by the way, called One in the Chamber. And no, I'm just actually I'm kind of half kidding about that, but
Chamber.
It's two chambers. Come on.
all right. Have a great week, you guys. If you need anything from me, please let me know. Any clarifications about anything, please let me know. Anything that you anticipate doing next week, please let me know, because I try to plan as hard as I can for what we have coming up. And
How flammable is that temple? Just asking for a friend.
the one you're in?
Stone.
No, the other
Oh,
one.
the stone? It's made of stone and clay, so
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
It's the
You-
least
you never-
flammable place in this whole town.
I was gonna say, you never even walked in it. So now this temple, listen, if one of these fucking lamps gets knocked over, this whole thing is
Burning this
done.
temple.
You're not burning this temple to the ground on purpose, but,
On
you know,
purpose.
accidents happen.
So about this crazy bone I've been carrying.
Oh, God.
I was really hoping to hear like your father had some kind of like crazy bone on him or something like that, and like
Yep, and
It was
After
much
the-
crazier than that.
after the two nat ones, I just like, oh well, that whole plan just needs to not. Okay, huh? Crap. Amelia's one directional, and that direction is just murder.
Don't worry, we were planning on kneecapping some slavers later. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, there's that whole situation too, isn't there? Oh boy, you got all
Which
sorts of shit, man. You got
Amelia
yourself
is-
fucking involved in all sorts of bad shit,
She
Amelia.
is
But
not.
you got rid of that deadline, so thanks, Amelia.
Yeah, happy to help.
Now we just
And-
have an invisible deadline.
And I got to tell Brother Mail he could fucking wait, which was amazing.
Satisfying.
That was
That's
yeah.
true. And he did seem very surprised by that. Okay. Lucy, finish your frog cake. That's kind of a half joke, but he's literally eating a cake shaped like a frog, which is amazing. And Lucy,
20 pounds.
who the hell's birthday was it that you guys
His
made?
sister.
Somebody. Oh, is your sister?
His mom made that.
Oh,
for his sisters.
oh. So who made the frog cake though?
His mom.
My mom.
Oh, why are you answering questions for a man I'm asking questions to?
Already.
He just sent me a picture and
just
said,
don't
I
know
ate
what
this
to-
cake. And I was like, cool. So now I'm looking for questions. And apparently Candace fucking knows him already. All right. It's
I
10:10.
didn't want to disturb you more during D&D.
It was-
No, it's okay. I'm getting all sorts of messages over here. It's crazy. You guys have a great week. Have a great early weekend next weekend. And we'll see you on Sunday for hopefully whatever the hell this has in store for us. And please, 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 if you have anything for me, if you intend anything weird next week, send me a message, and or if you need clarifications from this session, and we'll get them ironed out. Okay.
Awesome. Amelia got a
Boy.
tragedy. I got a story of a really old turtle.
Also a tragedy.
Well,
Would
I'm
you
not done.
prefer-
I'm not done with your story yet, friendo. Your story's just beginning. She started hers back in like session 3, so
Oh God.
I started mine apparently 22 years ago under a celestial convergence.
bum bum bum.
Gave an entire town trauma, but no, that wasn't enough.
Nope. It's never enough. All right, guys, have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
All right, for those of you who are hanging out with us, bear with me one moment. I'm going to see if there's anyone to raid. Oh, there's a handful of people on. Hold on. And holy shit, there's a lot of people on. Krat, number 21, excuse me. Jerko. I don't even know. I didn't even realize I was still following Jerko. Fujiwater, didn't realize I was still following him. Yogcast, Octopimp, Cold Brew, Uchu, and Zavino. 7 days to die. There we go. Got to get my 7 days to die in. Here we go. Guys, I did not expect to make a bunch of people cry today, by the way. I thought, I've got a lot of thoughts on a lot of what happened, and I'm going to apparently have to rewrite some things on my end for the purposes of what the fuck is going on. Crazy. But until then, we are going to we're gonna raid Anzavino. Yeah, what a weird. I always know the outcomes, but I'm not kidding you guys. There were 4 outcomes to that situation underground. There were 4 outcomes that I had written or planned for with their own full things. And then, of course, because Amelia had to fucking rob a slaver, she had the whole thing where, he pops in and he says, yeah, bring me your fucking dad and bring him alive. And then she's like, no, I'm gonna fucking murder him. And he's like, all right, bitch. Whew, this is gonna get weird. God, like you guys didn't have enough fucking problems with, the crazy bones and all sorts of weird gods coming from who knows where. All right. Anyways, y'all have a fantastic night. We'll see you soon.